The following program portrays explicit contact with the unsavory. If you suffer from sitting on a high horse, this show might not be right for you. Check with your local air traffic controller.
Lord have mercy, Christ have mercy, Lord have mercy on us. Lord have mercy, Christ have mercy, Lord have mercy on us. Have mercy on us.
Standing for truth in the four corners of America. Fighting for justice on the frontiers of the culture wars. And turning resistance into an art form. Randall Terry.
I don't even know what to say. It's just true. The federal government is spying on basically all of us. Christ have mercy. Quick word from the doctor.
I sometimes get so upset about the state of our country that I can't sleep at night. So I count in binary until I fall asleep. 1, 10, 11, 100, 101, and so on. What is it that you say, you blistering idiot? You can't count in binary? Just because you have 10 fingers, you think you're restricted to base 10? No wonder our country is going down the black hole. The black hole!
Hello, friend. I find myself in the awkward position of agreeing with the ACLU and Al Gore and many other civil rights and leftist organizations, because there are some civil rights that we hold in common. Of course, I'm speaking about the crisis. I believe it is a constitutional crisis. I believe that it is an inconceivable intrusion into the lives of tens of millions, perhaps hundreds of millions of Americans regarding the ongoing daily spying of the federal government into the personal lives of innocent Americans. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, The Guardian, which is a British newspaper, obtained a copy of a 4-page court order. I have that order here in my hand. You can find it online. We're going to read sections of it so you understand the reach of what is going on right now. It is hereby ordered that the custodian of records shall produce to the National Security Agency, the NSA, upon service of this order, and continue production on an ongoing daily basis thereafter for the duration of this order, until otherwise ordered by the court, an electronic copy of the following tangible things: all call detail records or telephony metadata created by Verizon for communications between the United States and abroad, or wholly within the United States, including local telephone calls. So Verizon was ordered by a federal judge with a request made by the NSA to turn over all of the phone records of every single American customer. If you have Verizon as your carrier, your daily phone logs, the numbers you called, the numbers that called you, the duration of the call, all of them have been turned over to the NSA. Let me continue reading. Telephony or telephony metadata includes comprehensive communications routing information, including but not limited to the session identifying information, e.g. the originating and terminating telephone number, international mobile subscriber identity number, international mobile station equipment identity number, trunk identifier, telephone calling card numbers, and time and duration of the call. And to cover their tracks, thank God for a free press, the FBI requested and got in this order. It is further ordered that no person shall disclose to any other person that the FBI or NSA has sought or obtained tangible things under this order. In other words, government of the people, by the people, for the people, is dead. It's not dying, it's dead. When they can put in the order that the FBI demands that anyone who sees this order at Verizon is not allowed to tell a single soul. Somebody, by the way, broke this order, and if they get found out, there's another leak that someone can be prosecuted for. Think about it. Someone might get prosecuted for letting us know that we're being spied on. No one shall disclose to any other person that the FBI or NSA has sought or obtained tangible things under this order, other than to A, those persons to whom disclosure is necessary to comply with such order, B, an attorney to obtain legal advice or assistance with respect to the production of things in response to the order, or C, other persons as permitted by the director of the FBI or the director's designee. So, of course, the FBI is under the Justice Department, which is Eric Holder. So once again, as this unfolds, this scandal, we will see what Eric Holder knew and when, and why the FBI and the NSA thought that it was necessary to spy on every single Verizon customer. I've got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to read to you some of the comments from Al Gore, from the American Civil Liberties Union, others, and I'll give you a little story about a mommy monkey and her little chimps. Don't go away.
Hello, Cleveland! Yeah! What? You can't turn the channel. You need to watch more Randall Terry. Yeah!
Every day in America, over 3,500 babies are torn apart by abortion. Shouldn't all babies, like this living, unborn child, have the right to life? Baby killing will only end when Americans see the truth of what abortion does to innocent children. You can help end this Holocaust by showing the truth of abortion in your area with a Face the Truth tour. Go to facethetruthamerica.com to set up a Face the Truth tour in your area. The babies and their mothers will be eternally grateful. In the 1980s, banks introduced designer checks. When my buddy George Johnson inquired at the bank, they had nothing for pro-lifers. So the Johnsons created beautiful pro-life bank checks showing babies with a strong pro-life message. You can speak out for life with every check you write, whether personal or business checks. Be a voice for babies with these pro-life checks. Go to prolifecheckguy.com to see more. That's prolifecheckguy.com. Courage is rightly esteemed the first of human qualities, because it is the quality which guarantees all others. Sir Winston Churchill. Hello, friend. Welcome back. An interesting vignette from history is that yesterday was the 64th anniversary of the release of George Orwell's book, 1984, in which Big Brother, the government, was spying on people through their television sets. All right. I want to tell you a story before we hear from Al Gore and the ACLU. Once upon a time, there was a lovely mommy monkey, and she lived in the wilds of Africa. Now, you might think that she would be happy because she got to breathe the free air and got to pluck fruit from the trees, enjoy the meals of her choosing. The problem is that there were lions, and there were tigers and leopards and pumas, and there were larger apes other creatures of the jungle that posed a threat to her. Now, her mommy and daddy had taught her that if she would just be vigilant and do her duty to look where she was climbing, that she would be safe. But the very presence of pythons and cobras and cats of prey troubled her. Well, she did grow up and she married another monkey and they began to have a family. Well, now she not only had to watch out for herself, but she had to watch out for her baby monkeys. This, of course, terrified her. She simply did not feel safe with the knowledge that her and her offspring could be devoured while they lived in the freedom of the jungle. And so she decided she was going to seek a solution. And the solution was spelled Z-O-O. She just turned herself over with all of her little babies to a zoo. Well, she told herself, I don't have to worry about being hungry. They're always going to bring us fruit. I mean, I know that I'm not collecting the fruit. And I know that I don't have to worry about the presence of snakes or lions or birds of prey because the zookeepers will keep them away from me. Now, the air, of course, is not so nice in here, and the sanitation problems are kind of an ongoing situation. But nevertheless, I am free of the worry of creatures of prey attacking me. So I want to just offer that as a simple solution and illustration for any of you who are willing to trade your liberty in order to protect your security. A cage. If you're willing to surrender your liberty, go to a zoo. Ask the government to provide a big building with big bars and a thick set of walls, and then maybe a thick set of walls around that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know it starts to take on the air of a concentration camp, but you're safe. The government gets to watch your every move, right? They'll have surveillance cameras everywhere. They'll know who's coming and going. The government can feed you. Heck, you don't even have to worry about food stamps or those crazy cards anymore. You can just live in there and they'll bring you your food on a daily basis. If you're well behaved, they might even give you some menial task, like sweeping out the hallway of the prison. But remember, you're always going to be safe. No one is going to get you there. Now, the sanitation and the air and the style of the food and the lack of mobility and who you get to see and who you don't get to see and the fact that people are always watching you through glass, that might wear thin every once in a while. But you can always look in the mirror. I mean, it's actually more like a piece of chrome. It's not mirror because they don't trust you with glass. But you can look in that reflective chrome and you can say, at least in here, I'm safe. I'll be right back. We'll hear from Al Gore and the ACLU. Don't go away. Do you want to get America out of the hands of wicked and unjust men and women who are destroying the republic before our eyes and put leadership back into the hands of righteous men and women so that we don't die as a nation? Well, you're talking about social revolution, and there are rules in social revolution. We can look at the victorious social revolutions of the past, such as the end of slavery, the end of child labor, women's voting rights, the end of segregation, and so much more, and learn from their victories. Look at their actions, their images, their rhetoric, their sacrifices, and their final fruit. We will send you this series that originally cost $129, 7 books for students, 1 teacher's guide, if you'll give a gift of any size and just pay for shipping and handling. Take advantage of it today.
Moments with Moses. If you walk contrary to me, and will not hearken to me, I will bring more plagues upon you, 7-fold as many as your sins.
Welcome back to the program, friend. At the time of the taping of this program, the Obama administration has allowed an unnamed source to defend this court order, okay? So the FBI and the NSA have been looking at the daily phone records of every Verizon customer in America, all right? We don't know if the same holds true for AT&T or any of the other cell carriers. We can only assume that the same order was issued to all of them. And of course, AT&T will not confirm or deny it because they're forbidden to by the court order. So what we have to hope for is that somebody at AT&T slips the court order out to somebody in The Guardian, because The Guardian is a British newspaper, and therefore they're not going to be prosecuted in an American court. We can only hope that we get to see how far out the tentacles of this outrageous intrusion go into American lives. So this unnamed Obama official said that this court order was a critical tool in protecting the public from terrorists, and that the information that they gathered allows counterterrorism personnel to discover whether known or suspected terrorists have been in contact with other persons who may be engaged in terrorist activities, particularly people located inside the United States. Can any thinking person explain to me how getting the phone records of every Verizon customer allows the government to see who terrorists are in contact with? If they have a known or a suspected terrorists, well, obviously then they know them. They know where they live. They know what cell phones they're using. Why not just tap, say, those phones? Why not just get the records for known or suspected terrorists? Think about it. The Soviets told us that those two Islamic brothers were a terrorist threat. Did the FBI and the NSA tap their phones and get all of their phone records? Now, please understand, this order does not allow the government to receive the content of the phone calls, just who you're talking to, who's talking to you. It's just a step that big for them to say, we also would like to know what they're talking about. Right? This is obscene. Let's hear from Al Gore on this. Al Gore said, and I quote, "In digital era, privacy must be a priority. Is it just me, or is blanket secret surveillance obscenely outrageous?" I never thought that I would say that I was agreeing with the former vice president, but there it is. All right, let's go to the ACLU statement. They said that it was the secret court order was alarming, beyond Orwellian, and they said from a civil liberties perspective, the program could hardly be any more alarming. It is a program in which some untold number of innocent people have been put under the constant surveillance of government agents. It is beyond Orwellian, and it provides further evidence of the extent to which basic democratic rights are being surrendered in secret to the demands of unaccountable intelligence agencies. Well, how much time do we have left? We got about a minute? 30. All right, you know what? Let me do this. I'm going to take a break, and I have a comment on this from a very important figure. You might have heard of him. His name is Benjamin Franklin. When we come back, let's let Benjamin Franklin weigh in on this breach of our liberty. Don't go away. Save me, O God, by thy name, and judge me in thy strength. For strangers have risen up against me, and the mighty have sought after my soul, and they have not set God before their eyes.
It's Randall Terry. I love this show. Yeah.
Do you want to have knowledge, wisdom, discernment? If so, you have to read good books on theology, history, books that look at the lives of great men and women. So to help you to become a more effective Christian, a better witness for truth, somebody who can engage in productive conversation that exhorts and edifies those that you speak with, we're going to do something crazy. We're offering you these 7 books for a gift of any size. You just pay for the shipping and handling, and then give whatever gift that you can, and we will send them to you. But just to make it a little bit more crazy, I will send you a second copy of my 3 books, autographed. You can give them as a gift to your pastor or to a family member and help extend truth and justice in the world. This is while supplies last. Hi, friend. George Washington said, "Happiness and moral duty are inseparably connected." Welcome back to the program, friend. Benjamin Franklin said this: "Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." Patrick Henry, also one of our most heroic and famous founders, said this: "Is life so dear and peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death." Maybe someday I'll reenact that. Would that be fun, Lane, for me to reenact that? That's one of the most compelling and one of the most famous speeches in all of human history. We owe our liberty as Americans in part to that very speech. I'll come back to that on another day. It's kind of funny in a very ironic way that the extreme right and the extreme left, politically speaking, meet in the woods. You ever heard that expression? The right and the left meet in the woods? In other words, the woods symbolize us trying to get away from government control, government intrusion. You have people on the extreme right and the extreme left who don't trust their government, don't trust food sources, don't trust immunizations, don't trust public schools and the way children are indoctrinated and dumbed down. Now, we're going to put up, if you would, Lane, go ahead and put up the phone number of Congress. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to contact your member of the House of Representatives and both of your senators and politely demand a full investigation as to which government officials requested this order, this court order. Call them and demand that it be suspended immediately. Call them and demand that a full public hearing be done, and we want to know what other phone carriers were given this order. Friend, this is such an unthinkable breach. The only thing that would be worse than this breach would be for it to fade out and to not be a big deal. The only thing that would be worse than this happening would be for us to not really care so much. Oh, well, you know, they do have to find terrorists. In other words, if you're falling into that trap in your brain, then you have become the monkey in the jungle who would rather live in a cage. You have become the person that Patrick Henry spoke of, who wants peace and life at the cost of chains and slavery. You have become the person that Benjamin Franklin talked about, who would give up essential liberty for temporary safety. I think more highly of you. I'm sure that that's not you, because that's why you're watching this show. Heads have to roll over this. If heads don't roll over this, then what it means is the republic really is dead. Liberty really is dead. We really do live on a massive federal plantation, and we're all simply going to allow the government to roll over us and do what it wants. But I don't believe that. I am not there. The team of people that I work with to produce this show and to lead protests and activism and to fight for babies all over the country, we don't believe that. And I think you don't believe it either. But I must raise up a voice of outrage and demand accountability. or freedom will die.